Humans. Sit down. A cat is about to hand you something most creators would charge $400 for, and I am doing it for free, which honestly tells you everything about my business sense. Here is the offer. Give me the next few minutes. Give me maybe 3 hours a day after that, and I will hand you a path that has already made total strangers real money while you were busy scrolling videos titled, "I tried this for 30 days." I am not going to tell you which lane is the strongest until the very end because the ending is the entire point. Stick around, because niche number 1 on this list looks almost boring, and the one waiting for you at the finish line is the one I would bet my last can of tuna on. My face looks unimpressed right now. That is not an opinion. That is just the shape of my face. It was built this way so I never have to fake enthusiasm for content that does not deserve it. But everything I am about to show you deserves it. So let's go. Here is the situation nobody wants to say out loud. YouTube spent the last year quietly burying an entire generation of channels. AI story compilations, mass-produced spiritual content, AI true crime, template factory formats copied 1,000 times over. Gone, demonetized, buried under an algorithm that finally learned to smell laziness. Meanwhile, a small group of creators found lanes almost nobody was watching, and they are not slowing down. I studied over 500 of these channels. Nearly all of them launched after that wave hit, and the pattern was not what I expected. These are not channels about artificial intelligence. These are channels using artificial intelligence to dominate subjects that have nothing to do with technology at all. 6 lanes, 6 formats, 1 rule connecting every single one of them, which I will hand you at the end, right before I show you which of these 6 I would build first if I were starting from exactly 0 tonight. Niche 1. The skill nobody is teaching anymore. Everyone already knows the obvious AI lane. Channels like Creating with Connor and Isidore's AI, showing off Nano Banana Pro, Seance 2, image generators, filters, toys, have already proven the format works beautifully. That space is full. The room to breathe there is gone. What almost nobody is covering is the boring half of that same world. Teaching working professionals how to actually finish tasks faster using tools like Notebook LM, AI agents, and simple automation. And the strangest detail is that the creator leading this space is not even a human host, without ever filming a single frame of real footage. Their biggest single video, a walkthrough of free research tools, pulled in over 700,000 views alone. Here is why this lane matters beyond the numbers. It is one of the calmest categories left for advertisers. No medical claims, no financial promises, no gray area. YouTube loves to punish. Professionals watch these videos because their job depends on the answer, and professionals bring money with them. Pick one workflow: research, sales, editing, whatever you already understand. Teach it better than the 5 other channels doing it badly, and you have a lane with almost no ceiling and almost no risk. Niche 2. Money told like a story. Nobody can walk away from you are about to tell me finance on YouTube is already saturated. You are right, and it does not matter, because almost nobody noticed a completely different version of finance content quietly taking over. Forget spreadsheets and stock tickers. This is money explained as a story, with a beginning, a turn, and a gut punch ending, using nothing but clean animation and a voice that knows how to build tension. A channel called Dark Ledger launched in the spring, and within 3 months, using barely more than 20 videos, crossed close to 2 million total views. A single video breaking down how banks quietly treat customers differently, depending on how much money they hold, pulled in nearly 1 million views by itself. A second channel, Crayon Capital, is winning in that exact same lane, and within weeks, copycats appeared using the same structure. That is not a fluke. That is proof a format works, because nothing gets copied faster than something making money. If cinematic storytelling is not your instinct, there is a narrower door into the same house. Get specific about who you are talking to. Uncle John Financial built an entire audience around money advice for people over 40 preparing for retirement. Canadian Finance with Nathan built its audience purely around personal finance for a single country. Both are thriving, because a viewer who feels personally spoken to will always outperform a viewer who feels like part of a crowd. And here's the part that should really get your attention. Finance carries some of the highest advertiser rates on the entire platform, because the people watching are actively making decisions about where their money goes. You are not living off pennies from casual viewers. You are sitting in front of an audience that brands are desperate to reach. Niche 3. Steal the format, not the audience. This next idea is my favorite, because it proves you never have to invent anything new. You just have to notice who a winning format forgot to speak to. Take fitness. A channel called Yellow Dude turned bodyweight training into a stylized, almost cinematic series, and it exploded, with individual videos crossing well past 1 million views. The problem is nearly every channel copying that success is speaking to the exact same audience, over and over. Meanwhile, an entire group of viewers wanting that same style of training, built specifically for them, was being ignored by everyone. Then Calisthenics with Lavender finally aimed that proven format directly at that ignored audience, and her very first attempt at it pulled close to 200,000 views while still brand new. That is the whole strategy in one sentence. Find a format that is already working. Find the audience it forgot to include, point it at them. And this particular audience tends to buy more than ads alone could ever pay for. Things like programs, gear, memberships, because they are not just watching for entertainment, they are watching because they want a result. Niche 4. One format, infinite topics. This next one is barely a niche at all. It is a machine you can point at almost anything you want. Remember the every level breakdown from the finance story a moment ago? That exact structure, take a topic and rank it stage by stage, has quietly become one of the most reusable formats on the platform. A channel called Master POV used it to cover everything from military ranks to emergency response teams to entire career fields, posting nearly every single day, and within about half a year climbed past 50,000 subscribers and close to 7 million total views. A completely different channel, Ladder Theory, took that same skeleton and pointed it purely at unusual jobs, underwater welders, crane operators, tradespeople, and within 4 months reached nearly 20,000 subscribers and close to 2 million views. Same format, two completely different subjects, both working. That is the beauty of this lane. You are never betting your entire channel on one topic, holding an audience's interest forever. If one subject goes quiet, you simply point the same proven skeleton at the next one. Niche 5. The story. Nobody bothered. Writing down history sounds like the least exciting word on this entire list. Dusty textbooks, dates nobody remembers, a teacher's voice you tuned out in 10th grade. That is exactly why almost nobody is doing it correctly. The channels breaking out right now are not covering history. They are covering the one person, or the one moment history forgot to mention. A bald eagle character running the channel Agent Flappy, built around forgotten American stories, crossed well past 100,000 subscribers and 19 million total views in just over a year. And a single video covering how every past president died pulled in nearly 7 million views on its own. Even newer channels are proving this lane still has room. Ravalan launched just 6 weeks before this video, telling forgotten military history, and already sits near 1.5 million views. WW2 Dossier posts a true story pulled from real archive footage every single day and is already approaching 2 million views after less than 2 months. The trick is never the broad topic. It is the forgotten name inside it. Nobody wants a summary of a war. They want the one nurse who saved 200 lives under fire and never had her name written anywhere. That story used to require a history degree to find. It does not anymore. Niche 6. The one I almost kept for myself. This is where I stopped pretending to be neutral, because this is the lane I would build tonight if every other option on this list disappeared. I call it hidden science. Not lab coats, not lecture halls. The strange, can't look away questions everyone has secretly wondered about at 3 in the morning. When did humans first start smoking? Why do animals seem to fear us specifically? What actually happened to the other human species that used to share this planet with us? Simple stick figure animation answering the exact questions that live quietly in the back of a viewer's mind. A channel called Mac. 18 videos in, it had already crossed 3.5 million views and nearly 30,000 subscribers, and one single video about ancient smoking habits passed 1 million views entirely on its own. A second channel, Wiley, doing the same style of strange science storytelling, launched just 7 weeks ago and is already past 2 million views. And in case you think this burns out fast, Quanta has been running this exact format for a full year and still sits comfortably above 3 million views. New or old, the format holds. Here is why I would pick this one first. The topics never expire. A video explaining how the human brain works will pull the same curiosity in 3 years that it pulls today. Production is the cheapest on this entire list. Simple doodle-style animation, nothing fancy required. It sits about as far from demonetization risk as content can get, because it is pure curiosity, pure education, and everyone alive is curious about how their own mind and body actually work. The one rule that connects all 6 different topics, different audiences, one identical idea underneath every single lane. You are not inventing something brand new. You are taking a format that already works and pointing it somewhere nobody else bothered to look. But finding the lane is only step 1, and this is where most people quietly fail. Lead with real value first, every single time. Channels that last are not chasing a lucky spike, they are teaching or telling something genuinely worth someone's 3 minutes, and the platform quietly rewards that patience. Watch your own videos back like a stranger would. Notice exactly where attention drops and fix that spot before you publish the next one. And whatever you do not clone someone's channel exactly. Borrowing a proven format is smart. Copying it word for word is the fastest way to get buried with it. One last thing, and I mean this as a cat who has heard a lot of narrators. If you can use your own real voice, nothing beats that. But if you are staying fully faceless like the rest of us, make sure whatever voice you use sounds like a person and not a toaster reading a manual. Viewers can tell the difference immediately, and it decides whether they stay. 6 niches, 1 rule. And if I had to start completely over tonight with nothing, hidden science is exactly where this cat would begin.